Hi guys, and welcome back to Twisted Locker, your definitive horror podcast. Today we're going to be doing a classic horror review, and we've got Wes Craven's 1984 iconic Nightmare on Elm Street. Jenks, what are your thoughts on this one?
This film is one of my all-time favourites. I grew up with Freddy Krueger. He was like a superhero. He wasn't like a horror, but I wasn't scared of him. But this felt like he went a bit superhero-y and shit, and looking at the camera and shit like that. But Nightmare on Elm Street is the one that started it. It is a proper horror film. It tells a story of these kids. These kids, they look like about 40-somethings, but they're meant to be like teens, American teens.
God damn you, Bernice!
By the power.
With fucking beards and menopause. And they're getting stalked by this killer, Freddy Krueger. I don't have to give a fucking synopsis. Everybody knows who Freddy Krueger is. He's got a knife for hands, he's got a fucking hat, and he stalks people in their dreams, and it turns out that they burnt him alive, and he's come back, and he can go into their dreams and kill them. This film, the first one, it's so creepy and so violent. I watched it again the other day. Well, a couple of years ago, actually, not the other day. It was like one of the anniversaries of it in the cinema. And the scene where Tina, her friend, Nancy's friend, is getting slaughtered by Freddy in a dream. She's going up against the wall and the ceiling. It's so violent and it's so effective, and you just forget, Jesus Christ, it's quite disturbing. This film is so like ahead of his time. Wes Craven is hit or miss. Scream is very iconic. Freddy's very iconic, but he hasn't got piles of great films. But this film, he created one of the best movie villains ever. And I'm guessing you probably already know this, but Freddy Krueger is the name of a school bully Wes Craven had.
Fred Krueger, yeah.
Fred Krueger.
Yeah, of course.
Now,
yeah.
I would love. I've never seen that guy. If he's ever sort of like come out, he might be probably dead now. He's probably old. But if he ever came out and go, "Oh, I'm the fucking bully," he became
would
like
you
a
come
superstar.
out though? Would you come out? Like, would you be proud of that? Like, you tormented someone so much that they made a horror villain after you.
Yeah, can you imagine
You'd go into hiding.
Yeah, and you can imagine he looked like Freddy Krueger, so he had terrible skin, like acne when he was a kid. Yeah, but
well, it turns out he is the school janitor now.
I wonder if when Freddy Krueger found out about that, was he, like you said, was he mortified, or was he like, "Fuck, I went to school with Wes Craven, that's me."
Yeah, do you know the famous Leonardo DiCaprio meme from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where he clicks at the TV and points? One of those moments.
Yeah.
Here I come.
Oh,
here I come.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, or Fred Krueger when I got, "That's horse shit. Fucking Wes Craven to stick my head down a fucking toilet." I call bullshit.
This Fred Krueger's made a film himself, and he's got a horror villain called Wes Craven. It's just no one knows about it.
No one cares about it. It's like, yeah, Freddy. Your name's Freddy Krueger. Yeah, no, only because you lied. Yeah, what do you think of the film?
Yeah, obviously, come on. It's easily one of the most iconic movies ever made, one of the most iconic villains ever made. Obviously, it all started with New Line. They took a gamble on such a mad story, and obviously New Line became the house that Freddy built, and still going today. And it all started with this one film. You had a guy and a woman, and they started this company on the back of Nightmare on Elm Street, and it absolutely paid off. So many studios passed on this movie. I'm not surprised. It's an absolute insane script. Wes Craven was a little bit known. He'd already directed Hills of Eyes and Last House on the Left, two video nasty type cult movies. But obviously Nightmare on Elm Street took him to that next level. And obviously he became the Wes Craven that everyone knows and loves.
Yeah.
Now I can't believe how well this character came together. The sweater, the glove, the hat, everything. Just iconic. Everything about Freddy just screams icon. Now, my favourite one is part 3.
Welcome to prime time, bitch!
it's got to be my favourite one, but you can't deny how much of a cult status the first one has. I absolutely love it. He gets a little bit silly towards the later films.
Now I'm playing with power!
But it's a pretty consistent franchise. There's no absolute dog turd ones. There's no...
Fucking 6, what are you talking about?
Yeah, but Jenks, it's not the worst film ever made. It's not Jason X. Come on. Or
I quite like Jason X. let's
and I used to like you.
Look, let's not talk too much about the sequels because we'll come out to that in another video. Do you know? I don't know if you know this as well, but originally they wanted Freddy Krueger to be a child molester, and they thought that was just a bit too dark. So they thought, no, let's just make him a child killer. That's less dark. And even though that sounds ridiculous, I do understand their thinking. But they
100%.
You know, but in the remake, they revert back to that. He's a child molester, which is the shit.
Yeah, but I know he's a killer, right? And he kills teens, but he has to have some likability. Like, they're banking on this becoming this big horror character. No one's going to follow him being a child molester. It's ridiculous. So, thankfully...
No!
Do you know what I was going to say, right? Do you know what's crazier than that? Is that Robert Englund was never going to be a continuation. Like... Just like any other slasher, right? It's easy. You got Jason, you got Pinhead, whatever. I should say Michael Myers more than Pinhead. It's a man behind a mask. It doesn't really matter who's playing them. They can cast a new guy every film. And obviously, when a film becomes bankable and it makes a lot of money, that actor then becomes hot property. So obviously, if they're doing sequels, it's going to cost more to rehire them. They just hire the next guy then for the next film, and he's just as cheap as the last guy. No, they were actually going to do that with Freddy Krueger. But for obvious reasons, they went, this isn't working. So it was never the plan to have Robert Englund play Freddy continuously, because obviously every film he was becoming more expensive.
Yeah.
But who else could play Freddy Krueger?
That's music to my ears.
Without going too much detail about the remakes, again, we'll cover that another time. But you know, I understand that his face looked different because they want to look like a genuine burn victim. Whereas Freddy Krueger,
that. I didn't hate his look. I didn't hate the look.
But he just, because he's so burnt, he couldn't have much expression because the skin is so stiff. So it's just like, he just might as well put a fucking mask on, you know. Classic
definitely.
film. I fucking love this film. And what I love about, we said about New Line, is that when I see the New Line logo, it always makes me think of horror. Do you know what I mean?
Specifically, the Freddy theme tune. When you see the New Line and then the Freddy theme tune comes on, whenever I see New Line, that's it. It's Freddy.
Yeah. Yes. No, this is a masterpiece. It deserves the mantle of a classic, and it's 5 stars, and it's definitely stood the test of time. If you haven't seen Elm Street for some bizarre reason, just watch it. Don't have to watch the other ones. It's a standalone. Highly recommended.
Yeah, absolutely agree, Jenks. It gets a video all of its own. We usually do top movies where we mention a few. Nightmare gets its own video. As iconic as they come. Easy 5 stars for one of the greatest horror movies ever made. But that's all we got time for today, guys. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers, guys.